Having fun with sketchbook ideas again today. Hi, I'm Ellen. Welcome to my channel. So today for our tutorial, I thought I would do another sketchbook entry in my Boaohong sketchbook. This time with fruit. I added some plates, really just simple, loose. I'll show you how I draw this and then paint this up, and then we just add in like little words with my fountain pen. Really kind of fun and simple, and I'll give you some ideas about how you can do your sketchbook as well. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. Also check out my Patreon. I have ad-free videos, traceables, exclusive tutorials, and a live stream in the top tier. It's just a place people go and support my channel, which I appreciate so much. We also have a Facebook group where we share paintings and whatnot, monthly challenges and weekly giveaways and all that good stuff. Patrons also get first dibs on watercolor workshops and retreats before it goes to public. So if you want to join Patreon, just click the link in my description box and you can find more about it. So without further ado, let's get painting in our sketchbook. Alright my friends, let's go over the supplies I'm using. This is my Boaohong sketchbook. It's kind of like a hard leather kind of cover. And it's pretty heavy, it's pretty thick for the paper. I haven't found any sketchbook period that I'm happy with, has like a nice tooth to it. Like there's an arch, they call it a sketchbook, but really because it's binded with like a spiral bind, it's not like cover like this. So this is not too bad. But using my mechanical pencil to draw some of the fruit in. I'll be painting in the fruit maybe with my Princeton, Aqua Velvet Touch series. I'm sorry, Aqua Elite. I'm losing my mind here. Number 12, or I might use my number 12 Neptune. The difference between the two is that this is a really kind of loose, floppy brush. This is a little more stiff. Maybe in some of them I'll use my 8 long round too. I don't know usually until I start to paint with them. And of course my paints will go over as I use them. So I'm going to show you how I draw some of the fruit. And you can just fill up your sketchbook any way you like. Sorry, my lighting is getting off. Strawberries, lemons, watermelon, peaches, blueberries, raspberries, cherries, all that good stuff. And you can just do the fruit itself, but you can make it a little more interesting by adding like maybe the fruit on a plate or something like that. So I'm going to do some of this, kind of a little bit of both, right? There's like I'll plate like a big round plate here, which is just a circle, and then of course the indentation of the middle of the circle. So it's like the top down kind of scenario looking at the fruit. Everything can be top down. And on this plate I can do maybe some lemons, right? So the lemons, trying to zoom in so you can see. Zoom in so you can see. Oh, and the lighting is so off. It's kind of like an oval shape, a little pointy. See how I did that? And then I'll erase all like the lines in between when I'm done with that. Right? You can just do like a little, like that, half circle, put another line that matches that going around. But now I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking that it's kind of small. I don't know if I want to do it like this on the plate, because I want my lemons to be bigger. So maybe I make the plate a little bit bigger. You don't want to fuss too much with this paper. For some reason, it's just really weird. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to make my lemons bigger. So, here we go with the big oval shape. Boom. So it's kind of like an oval little bump on the ends. And then I'll erase that middle part where I put the plate. And then I'll do like a half lemon slice, like that, and then I'll cut that off, and it'll be like the little wedges in between. We can put some branches off that, can make it interesting, maybe have another lemon coming off the plate, I don't know. Down in here I'm gonna think about putting like some smaller items, like maybe some cherries. Of course there's a circle with an indentation going down. Indentation, and these aren't going to be perfect, and doesn't matter. So now we got a yellow item, we've got a red item, maybe a peach. So that's going to be kind of like a circle with an indentation here, kind of going like this and back here. See how I would call it like a little V. So you make the circle and then erase that little thing. So it looks like a little butt. Looks like a little butt. Kind of come up like that. There's a little peach. You can put a stem on there if you want. You can do an open peach with like the little pit in it. It'd be kind of fun. You know, then I'll do some strawberries, blueberries. I think I'll do blueberries here because I want to balance the colors. So blueberries, obviously they're smaller, like little circles. And they look like a little crown on the top of their head. And they don't have to be perfectly round. So the crown is just like a little crown. See? Little crown. Now, I'm doing this all in pencil. You can just paint it with right over that pencil. You could do pen and ink. There's so many different things you could do. I'm going to put a bunch of blueberries. I eat blueberries basically every day. I don't know about you, but they're like the superfood. So I'm going to do a bunch of blueberries. And you don't even actually have to just draw all this stuff in. You can paint. You can just go ahead and paint it. Watermelon, raspberries, you know, think of all the other fruits that you might maybe want to do. A lime, kind of like put a green, like a lime is more of a rounded shape than a lemon, but still has like a little bump, tiny little bump, and then you can do like another little half wedgy thing like there. And then we're getting into other things up here. Maybe I'll put like a strawberry up here, kind of on its side. You make it interesting by moving it around. I always start with the little leaves first. So like the little, like a little V, and come down and bring it back around. There's a strawberry. I kind of like put a little baby one in here. We could add more strawberries around. But this is a kind of a good start. The cherry's bigger than the strawberry. That's a baby strawberry. You can do a plum. You know, fill up the whole page. You can go across either side. I might just do this one side for now and see how it looks as we're painting it. Yeah, and I haven't done a watermelon. I was thinking about doing a watermelon slice. Maybe the watermelon comes across and hits the other side. So then we get the watermelon there. Right? You can put, let me see, I'm thinking about what I would put here. You can do some plums. Plums are like small peaches on the side over here. Maybe put like another cherry here, I guess, to balance it out. 3. You can just put some leaves kind of hanging out here. So once you get that all drawn out, see how quick I do that? Like I said, the circles, basically circles and oval shapes, simple stuff. I take my eraser and I kind of erase a lot of this. I love the kneaded erasers. It gets rid of the lines without having the shavings. It's kind of my thing. And I've drawn out everything, but sometimes what happens is when you draw everything out and you have everything planned, you know, some people have a super plan. It doesn't always, like, the execution could be like, I don't like it, because you want to add more things. So I draw some of it out and then I go back in and add more as I'm painting. We'll just get started with lemon. And again, of course, this is a really loose design. I'm loosening up the paint with my Princeton long run. It's good to have a bunch of things mixed up already. So maybe I'll have my yellow loose, and I'll grab some yellow and some Prussian blue, make some greens. You can see this on the side. Some greens, make them a little bit lighter. Lighter still. That could be used for the lime. A plum, obviously, is like, I would use ultramarine blue and grab some magenta or bright rose. Magenta would be perfect for this. Get that plum color. For the watermelon, I love bright rose. The strawberry, I would mix bright rose with cadmium red light, or like some kind of, if you don't have cadmium red light, you know, or the cherry, if you want red. I have a red, you can make your red. You can take yellow, that's got some green in it, so I gotta remove that. Yellow and magenta can make a nice red, see? You didn't think you could make red with yellow and magenta, but you can. And you can add a little more magenta and make it a little pinkier. Look at that. So get your colors all ready to go. And I'm going to grab my bigger brush. Let's try the number 12 Aqua Elite. This one's been used a lot, so the tip is kind of dull. Let me try this other one. See if it's better. That's why I usually go with the number 12 Princeton, because the tip is really pointy and I like that. And this one's stiffer, so it has more life to it. So we can start to paint wet on dry in this lovely little sketchbook, and I'm just really going loosey. Kind of really lightly tapping the paper, not going too crazy. For the little wedge, you kind of want to leave a little white in between, but you have the pencil line there too, you know, along the parallel of the cut wedge part. See? And as it's lighter, you can kind of tap in a little lime green if you wanted to do that. Give it a little some depth. Play around with your little lemons. See, I'm tapping on some green, grabbing some more yellow. Boom. Loose. Easy. This is a sketchbook. This is not supposed to be something really intense. Going for some of these cherries here. Again, look at it. See, it's like almost like a rounded heart. I'll leave like a little halo here, which means like a little white. Sketchbooks are supposed to be fun. Kind of fill that in. You can tap in a little ultramarine blue, get a little dark on the edge here. Because again, this is not like a perfect painting of cherries. This is a sketchbook. This is where you have fun. This is where you play and experiment. Gonna go over here. This one's a little pinky. Gonna add some more yellow. Boom, that's my cherry. That kind of color is stuck. You know, sketchbook is not gonna be perfect either. Loosen up some of your burnt umber for the stem. I'll just go right ahead. I might even mix some Paynes gray in that. Boom. Now it's pretty wet, mine, right now, so I have to be cautious that I don't bleed all the colors. See how loose and just tapping my brush that I'm going for? So then the strawberry, like I said, I'm going to mix bright rose with the cadmium red light. It's like the pretty color. I have to be cautious of the green. Just a pinky color. Round that tip. My paint is really wet. There's that little one. Now there's a couple ways you can do the little seeds in the strawberries. You could add white gouache if you want to, or a little black. Now I might make the color a little bit darker, which means the paint should be a little bit thicker. And there on one side, like that. Cute little strawberries. I'll wait till they dry to do the greenery. For the peach. Now, peach color. So it's basically like a combine like a nice pretty yellow and pink. So I have my cadmium yellow deep, right? I'll grab the color I use for the lovely strawberry and I'll mix them together and have a nice peachy color. I'm just gonna throw that color in really quick. See how fast and loose I kind of paint this? Get this nice peach color. While it's still damp, you can kind of blend in a little more darker colors. It can be more orange or more pink, depending on how you want to do this. See? Where that little butt part is. I'll go in here and add a little bit of depth. But we know it's a peach, and we can do some little dots on it. Having fun. Remember that lime? I have a little lime down here. Thicker the paint, the less it will move. I just love the loose style. And this green will come in handy if we're going to go over here and use it for this. For some of the lovely lemons. A little bit darker green. We can use it for the strawberries, but I have to wait till those dry. Again, we'll do like a little, oops, my green is a little too dark. A lime wedgie. Again, I'm going super loose. Add a little dark color tones in here. Add some leaves coming down here. I haven't done the plate yet, so that's going to be fun when I show you how to do the plate. And we have that lovely watermelon. I will use the bright rose and add a little of that cadmium red deep to it. It's a watermelon. Put that little pink, you see, coming in here, going through both of the pages. And we have our green, the light limey green. Still, mine's very, very wet, so I'm kind of lifting the brush. And then we have the dark green on the edge, like the rind. So I added some Prussian blue to my green. It's getting a little bit thicker. And we have that rind color. The blueberries. Well, I'll do the plum over here. And then we'll do the blueberries. So plum, like I showed you, I made the color. I'm just going to go, oh, it's a little too purpley, right? Maybe more Prussian blue should go in there. We'll play around with that. Blue with some magenta. It kind of looks fake. Throw in a little brown. It's purple. It's a plum. Plums are like blackish purple. That's our plum. We're sticking with it. So, see how I'm balancing all our colors here? I'm going really loose. Back on here. Some of my little blueberries. I'll just use ultramarine blue. I think they're perfect. Just a bright blue. If you want to add a little deeper, like some Prussian blue to it, it will change it up a little bit. So let's go in a little closer. I'm using this big brush and it's very wet. The paint is very, very wet. So I want to go in, tap off the excess water, and do my little crown. See? There's my blueberry. And I'm using a big brush. I did want to leave a little halo on some of these. So you can just do like a little point. Boing, boing. A couple little finger points like that. So I'll just go around the circle and I'll leave a little white. And for the top, I'll just kind of wiggle it like that. The blueberries. These are fairly bright. If you want to add a little Paynes gray to dull the blues, you could do that. But I don't mind it being this goofy bright. Just go in and fill it in. Showing that little crown. And this one was a little too goofy. Gonna wash out some of that color. Put that little crown in. We'll add some like depth in a minute. We have to wait till everything dries. This color is a little too bright. So right now it's just this bright little blue, but that's okay. And now we're gonna go back around the page again with our lovely greens for strawberry. Finish it up. Add a little stem, a little cap for this little teeny one. So again, all pretty loose. Just fill all that in, the good stuff. And the peach, you can go back into it again as it's drying. See, it's just one note, it's flat. And kind of fill in some darker elements of this peachy color so it makes sense. And a little bit over here. Right, you can also put a stem in here if you want to. Peach stem. All this good stuff. And when we're all done, when they all dry, we're going to do like a nice shadow, cast shadow. So I'm going to take my smaller brush, my number 8 long round, and do like a design for the plate. So you just have basic fruit, but you do something really interesting. I'm going to just lift some of the color of my paper plate here. Lift up some of these colors here. So I'm just taking ultramarine blue by itself. Love this color. I might want to add some Paynes gray, but not really. I just want the brightness of the blue. And we're just going to do the edge of this like a porcelain dish. One of those blue porcelain dishes. And we're just going to make one up. Get a little darker on the edge here. It's almost like you're in Positano, right? In Italy with the blue and the yellow. Fill this in here. Just circles. Now, make up your own pattern. I can do little scallops. See? And then we could add some swooping pattern like this. Bigger scallops. Swooping. Play around with it. Use stripes, whatever. Swooping kind of pattern, see? You keep building the pattern. Then you do like a little triangle in between. This is how we build make up our own design. I do these all the time. I love it. I'll do another double ring here. So building up the plate here. Then we get in here, we'll add another line. See what pattern? We're just doing another parallel line, what we just did before. And this is how you start to create a pattern. And then you can get the colors a little bit darker in some areas of the blue. You can do like little dashes like this. Kind of coming in like this. And then the center of it could be more interesting, maybe more concentrated with like a floral or something. So let's go in here with the floral. Just do like some kind of flowers, right? Wiggle, wiggle. And the leaves, you put some bigger lines around it. Just makes it more interesting. Fill it in. Put some little lines in here. And you just keep filling it in until you get a nice little pattern going here, right? So then that's light right here. So even with the light color, I might go and add a little bit of this, like I said, Paynes gray. On these little lines, you can see those little dots with a deeper blue. Boom, boom, boom. You're making it more interesting. You're really going to put the emphasis on this plate. Make it really kind of interesting. All in blues, right? You can make dots all along the major band on the outside. Have fun with this. Now, you could have done like fruit on all kinds of blue plates. That would be really kind of cool. I give you guys ideas all the time. Do something like that. I might do another ring. I really want to fill up the plate. And boom, we filled it up, right? It's this really cool, interesting plate. And my yellow got kind of like dissipated, so I'm going to go back in with some of my yellow. Really bright yellow, like almost right out of the tube. Gonna fill this in, dry brushing some of it, as you see me doing here. Dry brush means you have hardly any water, and so you've got this like dry brush look. It's still watercolor, it's just doing a dry brush. Boom. Isn't that pretty? Same thing with the strawberry. I'm gonna get my bright rose with my cadmium red light. It's a little bit darker, maybe a little more bright rose actually. I'm going to go over here and kind of dry brush on the side, that one side, get a little darker. The other stuff seems to be doing really well, but see how we balance that blue? I mean, of course that blueberry is really bright. Some blueberries are much darker than that. I might go and add some Prussian blue, a little bit of Paynes gray, ultramarine blue. Get that blue a little bit darker, because blueberries are darker than this. So now I'm going to go in here and add that darker tone. We still have some bright blue showing, but I'm going in over this with a darker blue. Mostly to the like the right you see here. The little cap. So it has like a highlight. Mostly on the right side. They're kind of goofy blueberries. And you know what? I don't really care because it's just a fun design. You don't have to be precise with all your watercolor paintings. Tweak it. Okay, so once you've got all your designs in, like where you want them to go, how you want them to look, right? You can do a background, or you don't have to do it, but I'm going to add some deep darker green here and here. Just give some more depth on some of my leaves and over in here. Don't want it to look like one note. I can put a little leaf here with the cherry, make it more interesting, add some leaves coming out here, and maybe another one kind of coming out here. We haven't done the strawberry seeds. What I suggest is that we get a little bit darker with the strawberry. Just put a little dash here, and then we'll put the black seed on top of it, that little area where they're going to go. All right, once your stuff is all dried, we're going to take Paynes gray. You can mix it with a little blue if you want to. I'm going to water it down so it's more like a tea, but we're not going to use it that wet. Again, tap it on a paper towel. And we'll do like a nice cool shadow. Since I have the shadow coming this way, let's get the shadow up the plate. Now I'm testing it by adding in a shadow. And see, that leaf is going to be under the plate. And this one's going to be this way. And see how this looks. I might hate it. Put a little shadow on the strawberry. Just making it more interesting. Shadow on the cherry. You don't have to put the shadow in. I'm just trying to change it up, my sketchbook. A little shadow on this lime piece. And on the lime here. Now I'm making this up, so it might not be super correct. But hey, we're having fun doing it, aren't we? So I'm putting the shadows under the blueberries. One more gray and the peach. Is it peachy? So it's kind of fun. And once this blue stuff has dried, you can take your gray and go right in here and put the shadow in there. But you have to make sure it's dry. Otherwise it just kind of meshes, it mushes up and it becomes a mess. I would wait till it's completely dry. On here too. We have a little shadow. Fun with fruit. And then you can start to like write words like we did with this. We did with the tomatoes, and the last one I did, my last entry. Play around with maybe this peach. I feel like this peach is like lame color. I want to go back in and add some bright orange kind of color tones. Just liven it up. You can go in, like I said, use like a fountain pen, any kind of other pens, make it more interesting, write some words, add some flowers, do all that good stuff. So with the watermelon, once this is dry, just look at the little black seeds. You can put a little white next to it with some gouache. It's really simple. I'm gonna grab a little more of my gray. Yeah, see, this wasn't dry, but that's okay. Shadow. We can make my shadow. Oh, that's a little too dark, but gray shadow. And over my cherry over here. A little shadow. Fun with fruit. Didn't have to add the shadow if you didn't want to. You can just done it without the shadow. I think it's kind of fun though. And the blue plate is kind of fun. Just to make it more interesting, I decided to put some like flowers in here. I tested it out. So I'm just going to put some like little greenery kind of going here with some leaves. And I had like a peach kind of flower. Basically, I just took my brush and wiggled some petals. You can see here. I just feel like it was needed something. Like, kind of boring. And I'm not necessarily, I don't know if I wanted to put the shadow so much. I should have just left it without the shadow, but I decided to put the shadows down. Maybe you don't want to do that. I don't know. It's up to you. I found my fountain pen, so we can start to write some things like lime, you know, peach. Or you could paint the words, which would be kind of fun. Lemon, cherry, you know, all that good stuff. Blueberry. Write the words, don't write the words. Strawberry. And I didn't do my little strawberry seeds, so I'll just take some Paynes gray and I'll just do some little dashed lines going down to make my little strawberry seeds. Again, this is just like a little cute idea to do in your sketchbook when you're bored. And see, mine is super loose. It's not like perfect. I would, you know, play around with doing some fruit. See what you like to do. Add little flowers. You know, I like the little peach flowers. Just kind of changes it up. But it was kind of fun. You play around with the sketchbook. You draw it first, you paint it, get really loose. You do some plates, all that kind of stuff. It doesn't just have to be like fruit all like this. If you want to use pen and ink, do that. Get creative, right? Gonna put a little yellow center in here. Get creative with your sketchbooks. Simple things like fruit and plates, plates and fruit, cups, mugs, bowls, all that good stuff. I could do like a bowl in here, you know, play around. Have fun. That's the name of the game when we're doing watercolor and sketching. Grab things around your house. That's the best thing you can do. Oh, I didn't write little plum here, and I didn't write watermelon. Plum and water. It's just fun to play around with different things. So I hope this was fun. I hope you like fun watching me draw this stuff and showing how I draw it and just like putting in a plate with a pattern. You could have just did the fruit and did pattern all behind it. It'd be kind of really cool also. I would do like a light wash of blue and then do a blue pattern around it. Play around with that kind of stuff. Giving you all kinds of fun ideas to do with your sketchbook. When you're like out of ideas, you know, and actually you can do like a whole series of fruit. I mean, you can make it like a farmer's market kind of situation. I didn't do like pineapples and oranges, but we could do that. We can add those in. All kinds of great stuff. So thanks so much for stopping by my channel. I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care and I'll speak to you soon.